Dear children, the topic is types of nutritions. Nutrition, supply of nutrients to the body, supply of food to the body. So here the complete organisms are classified into two types. Let us see what are those two types of organisms. A first category of organisms can prepare their own nutrients, can prepare their own nutrients and supply to the body. I think you know these, but I am telling in detail. You came to know these things in the basic levels, so but we are coming to know detailed information about this. So there is a first group of organisms, first category of organisms which prepare their own nutrients without depending on any other organism. You need to know about this. They prepare their own nutrients and supply to the body. This is the first category. Second category of organisms, they cannot prepare their own nutrients. Nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals. They cannot prepare their own nutrients, so they depend on. They cannot prepare, so they depend. So they depend on other organisms. They depend on other organisms. I think you came to know its meaning. Can you give the example for this? Yes, nothing but called plants. So if you see plants can prepare their own nutrients and supply to the body to fulfill all their needs. And coming to this category, second one, cannot prepare their own nutrients, so they depend on other organisms like other plants, other animals to get the nutrients and to supply to the body. And what are the examples? All animals. So organisms are classified based on the types of nutrition they follow. They prepare their own nutrients, they cannot prepare, so they depend on others. And here plants and animals. Come to the discussion about these plants first. Plants are preparing their own nutrients. Are they not depending on anything? Yes, they are depending on sunlight, carbon dioxide, water. They are depending. Then why you are telling that they are not depending on anything? They are not. Here you need to understand one thing. They are not depending on any other organisms. They are depending on the nature directly. They are depending on the materials which are available to all from the nature. That is sunlight, water and carbon dioxide in air. So without depending on any other organism, they are preparing their own nutrients and supplying to the body. What we call those organisms which get the nutrients by themselves without depending on other organisms. We call this category as autotrophic nutrition. So we call it as autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophs, such organisms are called autotrophs. Auto, one important technical meaning you need to learn here. Auto means self. Trophism means getting. They get nutrition. They get nutrients to supply to the body by self, called as auto. Anything it runs by itself is called automatic. Is it or not? Auto, nothing but automobile, automatic, anything. Auto means, in meaning of auto in science, is self. So autotrophic nutrition, the kind of nutrition which is possible by itself. Example, plants, without depending on any other organism. And the second thing is, cannot prepare their own nutrients, cannot supply their own nutrients, so they depend on other organisms. So example is animals. Understand? They don't depend on freely available things in the nature like sunlight, carbon dioxide and different things. They depend on other organisms. They kill other organisms. What we call such category of organisms? We call them as heterotrophic nutrition. Such a supplying food to the body is called Heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means from different, from others. So we need to we need to identify the basic one in science words. Everything is same. Trophic nutrition, trophic nutrition. Which trophic? Trophism means getting nutrition. Which type? Self, auto. But it is hetero. Hetero means from others, from different things. That is called different organisms. That is called hetero. So, for example, human beings or any animals cannot prepare their own carbohydrates, own proteins, own fats, own minerals, and own vitamins. We depend on food sources of other organisms. If you want to get a carbohydrate, you will take from a rice plant. You will take from a potato. If you want to get proteins, you will take from animal's milk or egg, fats, different oil seeds, and minerals and vitamins from the fruits and vegetables. To get any nutrient and to supply to the body, we depend on other organisms. Here, if they want carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, they can synthesize. I am using a word here called synthesize by one. Synthesize means they can prepare by one. So self-synthesizing organisms, autotrophism, autotrophic nutrition, depending on others. Coming to some more things to know here, they can synthesize their own food. Yes, sure. So this is the category, they can synthesize. I am using a word called synthesis. What is synthesis? Preparing. We are going to that real technical word now, real word, science word which makes this possible. So how they are synthesizing? Synthesis means preparation. How they are synthesizing? By depending on sunlight. So by depending on sunlight, they can able to synthesize their own nutrients. So what is that kind of synthesis called? The synthesis preparation by depending on sunlight. That is called as photosynthesis. Do you know, children, the meaning of photosynthesis is photo means light. Synthesis means preparation. So photo means light. Synthesis means preparation. So by depending on light, which light? Sunlight. Some organisms can prepare, can synthesize their own nutrients, are nothing but called autotrophic organisms. Such kind of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition, and the process behind this is called photosynthesis. Preparing food by depending on light. So which organisms? We know plants are the organisms which can follow the process called photosynthesis. That's why plants are called as universal food providers. I am using a word here, universal food providers. Very important thing. Why I wrote there universal food providers? We'll discuss.